Welcome back to our fourth and final round here on at Guardian Games for Modern Mondays. I'm Travis Cooper, hanging out with Tim Chan. We're at Portland Paper. We do streaming of paper magic in the greater Portland area. If you know anyone that wants to have us host an event there, we got contact on our Twitch page. We have YouTube. We have Twitter. Also, we're almost at the associate level for streaming. We've kind of new business here, so if you feel like following us, or then once you get there, subscribing, that would help us get some more equipment, have some overhead cams. We do booth cams sometimes, but yeah. Anyways, we got a pretty cool matchup here. I feel like there's been a shadow that's followed us throughout the last 3 rounds.
Well, it's a popular deck tonight.
But we have got Grixis Shadow playing against Elves. Both 3-0, sitting at table number 1. Curious what version of Elves this is. I've seen the versions that have white for the infinite mana combo there, and then you overrun with Azuri, which also you can do with a couple devoted druids and some lords, and Azuri as well, with generating infinite mana that way.
Yep.
And I've seen the black version with Shaman of the Pack, where you just drain your opponent for a lot of life.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite in this matchup, Tim?
I think I'm gonna have to give the Milo game 1 because he could just kind of go wide, and again with the if he is playing the Shaman of the Pack version, I definitely give Milo the game 1 advantage.
Okay.
Because Xenon's only got 1-for-1 removal, and especially right now, we see he only has 1 land in hand.
And he cycled and then shocked to go down to 16. And we talked to the players before the match, and they didn't know what each other was playing. So we've got a bit of known unknowns here. The jig might be up soon here for Milo, though. You got Elvish Visionary.
Okay.
All right. Xenon is just pushing all the elves to the graveyard.
Yep.
And finds a blue source.
I don't think Xenon has an actual threat yet.
Oh, it's interesting. I saw a Kolaghan's command in the main deck, which is, and multiple battle rages. Usually they're on 2 battle rages, but Kolaghan's command has been kind of a sideboard card lately. And lots of blue cards in hand. Serum Vision.
Nope, she got third land.
Yep. Values a Gurmag Angler over a Snapcaster Mage.
Still don't know which version of Milo, or maybe he's just mono green.
Heritage Druid into an Elf Sentinel. Dismember on the Heritage Druid. So Xenon is really just trying to control Milo's ability to generate mana. Because Heritage Druid plus Nettle Sentinel can enable some pretty busted plays. I think the payoff we have in Xenon's hand is going to be the Gurmag Angler. Get another pickup, a Heritage Druid as a pickup. So we do not have another removal spell for Xenon, but there is a Snapcaster, but there's nothing left in the graveyard. Alright. Dwinen's Elite played for Milo, so maybe setting up for a big Heritage Druid turn in the next turn.
Yep, with that Nettle Sentinel.
Xenon may be wanting to get a removal spell and some lands in a graveyard for that Snapcaster. Or lands in hand, removal spell in the graveyard, but wants to know what's on top of Milo's deck.
Ooh, Throne of the God Pharaoh.
That's kind of sweet.
I think you saved the Stubborn Denial for that one.
Probably this Heritage Druid is going to eat the Thoughtseize.
Oh,
Didn't see what. Oh, we got
oh,
Missouri
and-
too. And
Oh.
what are the? Can you see what?
I believe that's the Beast Caller from the newest set, or Beast Whisperer. Sorry. So anytime you cast a creature spell, you draw a card.
A creature spell.
Yeah.
Left Milo with that Heritage Druid though. So, huh. 4-drop, that's a lot in Elves, but you do ramp up pretty quickly. Xenon's done a pretty good job of interacting with Milo's mana here. And Milo is still sitting at a pretty sweet 20 life total. Beast Whisper, are we going to get the untap trigger here? Yep. And we can generate 3 more mana? Do we have... Oh, that's... Oh, I feel like this Elves deck is just on the precipice of doing some really busted things this next turn.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't tap that God's Pharaoh, because that would have put Xenon to... Well, Xenon has the counter, but that would have put Xenon to 2 life.
It's true, but I feel like if you're not afraid of dying, then deploying a card is going to draw you a whole lot of cards. Knowing that your opponent probably plays Stubborn Denial, it seems like Milo's gotten to be 3-0 by probably having a good knowledge of the format, and your opponent is not going to be able to counter that card. And with the excess mana they're going to have this following turn, you can probably play the Throne of the God Pharaoh. And just see a chump. So Milo wanted to stay at 20 life.
If he gets his Beast Whisperer on the board.
Beast Whisperer is on the board.
Well, he has a second one though.
Yeah. And we have 3 mana, so you could even... Huh. I was more interested in tapping the land, but... Yeah. No, it didn't get the untap?
At all.
Are you going to get the draw? I think we missed a draw trigger.
No, he
as
did
well.
draw.
Okay, we got the
He
draw.
but he did not untap the Nettle.
Huh. I got a Death Shadow and a Snapcaster. We just got a Stubborn Denial and some Thought Scours in the graveyard. If I'm Milo, I'd probably just take this 5.
Yep.
Your
I
deck's
don't think you're afraid of anything at this point.
No, you want to use your Elves for mana here, and your deck's ability to chump block is...
Or if you top deck a Lord,
Yep.
you can go wide the next turn.
And the draw. Do we have
That
a
was
creature?
a creature. Wow.
Whoa. That's a good Elvish Visionary.
Oh, there's another Heritage Druid. Wow. So Milo's going to do some damage here.
Yeah, I think at Battle Rage, it's going to be hard for even a Battle Rage to get through this. Yeah. Get the untap trigger.
Remember that time?
Had a
And-
Heritage Druid that's a little bit off the board here. We migrated to... Oh, we got
Oh.
another Visionary, drawing 2 more cards.
Man,
3 more cards.
If he gets another throne, I think that's just game.
How many cards are we going to draw? Okay, this is pretty cool. I played against Elves in Legacy a fair amount, and this is kind of what they do, except they do it on turn 2. Yep. Xenon's just resigned to, we got a Stubborn Denial, any actual spell, but can't do that to creatures. Archdruid, are we going to get the untap trigger? Draw triggers? Got a lot of triggers there, Milo.
Yep,
there we
there
go.
he goes. And did he draw from that?
Yeah, go on.
Oh.
Do you need to draw the cards?
I don't
Probably
think
not.
it's a
No.
May either on those.
Yep. Yeah, our opponents, our players should have drawn the card. It's a miss trigger. They missed the trigger. We're doing commentary here. We don't have a table judge. It's not exceedingly egregious. They're probably going to get to draw some more cards, Tim.
Yeah. Well, and he's got the Elvish Archdruid, and that's a lot of mana alone.
That's just a little bit of the rub ends there.
Yeah.
Counting up the elves. Playing a Crater Hoof. That's yeah. Did we need those 2 extra cards? No.
No,
No,
didn't
we
matter.
This is like a Legacy Elves,
Yeah.
but just a little bit slower.
Well, this is also the old modern elves as well. We haven't seen just mono green elves in a long time.
Yeah, it feels like they went off of the Crater Hoof and we're on to the weird, well, not weird, but the Zuri combo with Devoted Druid.
But I do think Throne of the God Pharaoh is a nice addition just to the mono green or the modern elves in general.
Yeah, it definitely acts sort of in that kind of Shaman of the Pact role of giving you some extra reach. Or if you're playing 10 creatures, an extra fireball.
Yep. Imagine some form of board wipe. We're going to see a couple of board wipes. Maybe like an anger or...
Do we have those in the sideboard?
I did not.
Yeah, it looks like we're on Young Pyromancers. Gonna make some chump blockers.
So
Staticasters.
Staticaster, Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah, okay.
No board wipes, it looks like. I think there was a braid, I think I saw 2 braids.
Yeah, probably just bringing in all your removal spells. As long as you can control the board and make sure Elves doesn't have more than 1 or 2 creatures, you can usually get through. Maybe definitely keeping in your battle rages there. Looks like you citing out Street Race because it's not about necessarily managing your life total in that way. Elves, on the other hand, I have no idea what they're going to bring in. A card that I like a lot, and that's probably in this mono green deck, is going to be Lead the Stampede.
Oh, yeah.
When you're playing against a discard hand, you need to accrue some card advantage. That is a card that is can be challenging to interact with when your opponents are bringing in like Dispels. You're like, well, not this spell.
We could see something cute like Choke.
Yes, I like Choke. That seems like a fine card to bring in. And I would imagine if you're playing mono green, you're rocking at least 2 Chokes.
Right.
Yeah, Xenon is always a good competitor to have here on Feature Match area. I feel like unfortunately the times that we've gotten them here, they've been a bit on the wrong side of the matchup lottery. But
I mean, early game he was fine, just he couldn't find that early threat.
True.
He couldn't keep that pressure up.
Love that artwork too. Like Therese Nelson, along with Rebecca Quay, is one of my favorite Magic artists.
Agreed. Are you going to be going to any Magic Fest anytime in the near future?
If I can find a cheap plane ticket to LA, I might go down there at the beginning of March. My sister lives down there, could have a place to stay. I like playing modern competitive REL events. There was a 5K here this past weekend. It was like invitational thing that I got to play in, so I got a little bit of competitive REL fix in with that.
Okay.
But yeah, those are the only thing. There's also, I think, because the Magic Fest in Seattle this year is limited, a couple game stores are throwing together their resources and having a big Legacy and Modern tournament, which is maybe a 5 or 10K that's going to be happening in May up in Tacoma. I really enjoy being able to play Comp REL Legacy, so I'll probably go do that.
Okay.
How about yourself?
I've been eyeing LA since, it's so close to us as myself. Otherwise, I haven't seen anything in the near future because they haven't announced what the format for GP Portland, or Magic Fest Portland is yet.
Okay, they haven't announced a lot of things.
I think, yeah, they haven't announced the second half.
So we get a fetch shock Inquisition.
Ooh. Do we both players keep a one-lander? Wow.
It was a kind of tough call on Xenon's side of which do you get the blue or do you get the red?
No.
So we have two Archdruids. We have a Heritage Druid. We have a Llanowar Elf. We have...
Beast Whisperer.
Okay, and there's one more elf that I don't recognize. Not up on my elf game.
Elvish Clan Caller
There we go.
from Core
Okay.
19.
The lord that goes and fetches more lords.
Yes.
Okay, looks like Xenon is just trying to stifle Milo's mana development, which
So
is
just a race now.
a pretty good call.
No, I should be at 50. I'm sorry. What am I doing? So 3, 4, 5, yes. I did 50. Okay. Been a long day. Sorry.
1 mana for Heritage Druid. Looks innocuous enough right now.
Yep. I think we Faithless Looting.
That perhaps was why Xenon got the black-red instead of blue, was off of the power of Faithless Looting. And we do have that Lightning Bolt in hand, but we're going to go for looting here. Draw 2, 1, 2, and had the land on top. Discard 2.
Probably discard. Imagine at least with the Thoughtseize, at least as one.
Snapcaster isn't doing anything with only 2 lands right now, but is a way to get some pseudo card advantage going.
Yep.
But it looks like Xenon wants to deploy a Delve Threat.
Yeah, so he's got a Dismember and a Lightning Bolt left over.
It's a fair amount of removal here. Maybe considering, yep, just going for the Delve Threat. Hoping your opponent doesn't just have really good draws and go nuts this next turn.
Looks like Milo did miss the second land drop.
Yeah, if you had land Dwynen's Elite there, that could enable some pretty crazy things. But instead, Dismember on the Heritage Druid, Death Shadow, and a swing.
Ooh, I think this game's going to be over fairly quickly.
Yeah. And it usually takes the Elves players, regardless of it's mono green or not. You need a couple turns of setup without having your mana creatures being interacted with, and the Xenon's been able to kill every mana creature.
Huh?
Milo's down to 5 and scoops him up. Game 3. We can hear the table, and Xenon had a bit of the oh, I just kept a one-lander, got there, zing.
Yep.
It's like if if I'm in that situation, just don't tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw an anger in there.
Yep.
And taking a young Pyromancer out. What are we exchanging it for?
Bring it back.
Street Wraith, maybe?
Just maybe reevaluating. Yep, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, young Pyromancer on the draw is going to be pretty slow. Took out a lot of the stubborn denials. That's interesting. I mean, did just see your opponent playing mostly creatures without any spells.
Yeah, we didn't see Collected Company or Court of Calling.
I imagine that those cards have to be in there, right? Or
I assume at least Coco, because he's not playing the Vizier combo. So if you're just playing mono green, I at least expect Collected Company.
kind of like the ability to chord for Crater Huff.
Yeah.
That seems sweet.
But
And
he's
you make a
playing-
lot of mana.
Yeah. But with Beast Whisperer 4 of, I assume, since we saw these two, he does draw a lot of cards, as we saw game 1.
Yes.
The good thing about Elves is that it literally just like kill you.
You know a card that I'm surprised used to be big in modern sideboards a couple years ago?
Okay.
Engineering Explosives. Why don't we see that anymore? As often.
Yeah, I feel like it's still sometimes in Jeskai sideboards as a one of, but it feels like the decks that are doing really degenerate things all have a mixture of converted mana costs for permanents that they're deploying. Like, it can be decent against humans, but they're pretty spread out on like 1, 2, and 3. Like, Dredge has 2s and 3s, and yeah. It's like there's not a lot of things that it super hoses. It's like a conditionally decent card, so.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fault someone if they are playing 3 colors for having explosives. It's
Yeah,
just
at least
a
the
great,
one.
great catch-all.
Yeah.
It's get in trouble for doing this. Like the opposite way is to keep all the lands and have no creatures.
Thoughtseize first, man.
Also, Modern does seem to be a format where you're wanting permanents.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple spell-based combo decks. We got Ad Nauseam and Storm, but even decks like Amulet Titan, which play engineered explosives, have permanents on 1 and 3 that they want to keep in play. So it's going to be hard where maybe if the CMC that hoses your opponent might also get your permanents too.
Yeah.
I see a couple of fatal pushes in Xenon's hand there, and we got a mulligan for Milo. Looks like Angler, push,
Street Wraith.
Street Wraith, Thoughtseize.
2 lands?
Assassin's Trophy, was that?
No, I think it's a Verdant Catacomb.
Oh, yep. It's like, what's an Assassin's
Yeah.
Trophy doing in there? So, splashing green? Leaving it on top, leading it off with Llanowar Elves. Teamer Battle Rage at pickup.
I'm gonna get a Blood Crypt, go to 17, and put that bad boy there.
And stifling the mana development, getting a Blood Crypt to Fatal Push Llanowar Elves. Okay, gonna get a redraw here. Looks like Milo is doing alright with land drops this game at least.
Yep. Expect Xenon to play his Thoughtseize this turn.
End step, I'm gonna cycle a Street Wraith.
Cycle on the Street Wraith. Looks like we've got another Fatal Push in Xenon's hands. And a Faithless Looting. It's a pretty good combo with Thoughtseize. You can see what cards you want to keep, what cards you can pitch with the looting. Feels like an interesting matchup where if you're able to take cards out of Elves' hand, you can and kill a couple creatures on the board, out-tempo them, but as soon as Elves gets a couple turns of being able to play cards, they can snowball pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. So, a new card's Heroic Intervention there. I believe that's from Kaladesh, or Aether Revolt.
Yeah, a very expensive, it's like a $7 card.
Yeah.
It's very good in Commander right here.
'Cause I believe it's all permanents?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Save your land against an Armageddon.
Hexproof and Indestructibility.
What a deal. But we got the Dwynen's Lead. Xenon taking the 2 for 1 from Milo's hand. And another Visionary. Some more redraws. Attack in for 1. Do you attack your Death Shadow opponent in this situation?
I don't see no reason why not to.
Okay.
I mean, Xenon, technically if he had a dash out, could have just played it last turn.
Okay. It feels like Elves, especially with the go wide part of the deck, the chipping away at life total could make a difference. But we have a Grim Lavamancer here.
I think we're going to see both Grim Lavamancer and Grimhag Angler be deployed here.
Sometimes a Nombo there, but it looks like we've got enough cards in the graveyard to make Grim Lavamancer still be relevant. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in the graveyard.
Xenon missing a Steam Vents. I think that's what we're looking for.
Sometimes you do end up thought scouring the lands
Yeah.
that you're like, oh wait, now no, can't have those 2 colors anymore. Oh, not $700, $7. Heroic Intervention.
Yeah.
I don't think there is. Yeah, I think modern
Not a
usually
modern.
for non-promo stuff. I think modern tops out at around $90. Or oh no, Jace is 120 now.
non-foil, yeah.
Yeah, I mean just the base, like most cheapest version of a
Yeah.
card you could play. Probably, I think Jace is most expensive nowadays, like 110.
Jace, yeah, because I don't think Mox Opal's dipped a little bit.
Whew, that Grim Lavamancer. Clan Caller?
I think that
Lord?
Clan Caller is going to get shot down with Grim Lavamancer.
Kinda have to play it though.
Yeah.
You don't have to play it, but you might want to bait out the Lavamancer for some better cards.
Yeah.
Graveyard's a resource your opponent has to use. Xenon vacillating on whether to flashback looting, but instead is going to come in for 5. I think if I have Milo, I just take that.
Yep.
Agrees, goes down to 15. Is going to get dangerous when Milo hits 10 life. Okay, Fetchline is going to allow 2 activations of Lavamancer. Do you think Xenon was a sailor?
Maybe.
Do love that artwork of Grim Lavamancer.
With Milo, do you just swing all back out?
Visionary, draw a card. Getting a lot of redraws here. Gotta be careful if you go down to 10 to think jump blocking is going to do good. And we're going to get 2 attacks with the Visionaries. That's an attack for 4 right now.
I think you just shoot down the Clan Caller.
Yeah, that seems to be the level 1 play here.
This card has been the bane of my existence. No, well, yeah, Elves Visionary's pretty good too.
Is he blocking and burning the other one? Or burning the
That'd
Clan
be a
Caller?
very aggressive use of Grim Lavamancer here. I guess you
Yeah.
are getting 2 cards out of that, but
I think you just take the you kill the Clan Caller and take 2 damage for the turn. Or is he gonna
Guess I'll take 4. Oh, hold on. Yeah,
Well-
it's 4. I'm sure.
okay, Xenon's taking
Wow.
4.
I'm going to activate Grim Lavamancer and target that one.
Wow.
What?
Okay, so playing around, he's maybe a heroic intervention, perhaps. And Milo has it.
Wow.
Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is not where you want to be right now.
Oh, he
Well, so I guess you have the double block use Lavamancer to kill
Clan
the
Caller.
Clan Caller, take 1, go down to 2, and you're left with an Angler, and your opponent is going to have a Visionary. Really would have been tempted to... Well, I guess it...
I guess he knew the heroic invention was there because he thought seized earlier, actually.
Correct, yep.
Yeah. But I think he should have well, I guess Grim Lavamancer was on summoning sickness when Clan Caller was. Yeah.
I don't feel like there was any mistakes made there. It just was a kind of an awkward situation
Yeah.
to be in.
So I think we're gonna see a flashback here.
Milo was holding back that clan caller last turn. That could have been interesting with the intervention in hand.
Yeah. If I remembered that, I think I would have swung all out. Because that would have probably forced Xenon to block with the Grim Lavamancer.
And digging for some cards, flashing back looting, got an Inquisition, fetch land, Thoughtseize. There's some bad cards in there.
Yeah, I think if Milo gets one more Lord here.
Milo's looking like they're in a pretty commanding situation regardless.
Yeah,
and
there's the Lord.
Azuri.
I don't. I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising to me there. I did not think that Milo was going to cobble together that victory, but Xenon used a lot of resources and their life total, and those Elvish Visionaries combined with the Lord just, draw you a card and provide a body. Looks like Chad was wondering if Xenon could have activated the Lavamancer on their turn, and yes, but perhaps was playing around something else, like if their opponent tapped out for, like, say, an Azuri or something, or an Archdruid. Hard to say what the right call was.
Yeah, I guess he probably maybe should have kept the Gurmag Angler back instead of attacking with it.
Yeah, especially with a Grim Lavamancer, because you are, like, playing the control game at that point, and unless your opponent has a real blowout turn, they're probably not attacking into the angler. But you do have to win the game, so it's hard to fault anyone for the decisions. But it fell to Milo for this final round here at Guardian Games, and I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. We will be back next Monday. Usually we're streaming at 6:30, or a little bit late today. We started at 7, but we're going to be back on our regular schedule. And yeah, this is Travis Cooper from Portland Paper, hanging out with Tim Chan. And thanks everybody for hanging out with us and engaging with chat. Definitely helps us out if you shoot us some follows if you want to do that. And I hope you have a great week. Feel free to check out our YouTube channel. It's Portland Paper there too. We'll have the individual matches sometime in the next couple days edited and hanging out up there for you to realize how much we got wrong on the commentary. Thanks for hanging out, Tim.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Travis.
Okay, good night.
All right.